I am not Batman. I will never be Batman. He is a fictional superhero, but I will also never be Bruce Wayne with all his money and success and skills and drive, and most importantly, the impact he has on his surroundings and society. We are approaching our 30th year of being alive. So naturally, we're wondering more and more with each passing day into that existential oblivion of middle age, what the fuck we're doing with our life. More specifically, will we ever have any kind of meaningful impact on the world before we die alone and miserable very, very soon? Because having an impact is good, right? It provides happiness and fulfillment and a reason to push past the dreaded milestone of the big 3-0, all of which we are currently sorely lacking. To try to answer these burning questions, we've turned to our usual methods of comparing reality to video games, and naturally going with the most rational and sane option of comparing our life to the life of a comic book character and the still incredible 2009 game Batman Arkham Asylum. So, what is impact? We first played this game maybe a year or two after it came out, after seeing it on a shelf at a video store, knowing nothing about it other than, Batman. And man, did it blow our fertile little teenage mind. The dark, creepy atmosphere, the simple yet satisfying combat, the addictive Riddler challenges, the stylish execution of all these characters, even the unlockable character bios that highlight Batman's rogues gallery, from the obvious and popular to the more obscure, intriguing, creepy, ridiculous, and the insanely hot and sexualized that definitely didn't start any obsessive teenage crushes. What also drew us to this character, and still does, even now replaying this game as we approach the beginning of the end of our life, is the pure drive Batman possesses, and through that dedication, the impact he has on his society, and the immense satisfaction it seems to bring him. He must, otherwise he wouldn't keep doing it, would he? So what does having an impact actually entail? Well, we believe that making a difference can be broken down into 4 main aspects. There's community and society, how we affect the people around us. Success, how effective we are at affecting those people, and how much joy, satisfaction, and purpose it gives us. Fame, how many people our influence reaches. And wealth, the money we make doing all of the above, itself furthering our influence. So, in Batman's case, he, for example, stops criminals, stands for what's right, and protects the lives of innocent civilians. He's a very accomplished fighter and detective, extremely driven and focused to the point of obsession. Criminals, civilians, other superheroes, everyone knows of the Batman, and he utilizes his immense wealth to fund his crime-fighting capers. The cool thing about Batman is that, being a fictional character, his impact in these categories also extends beyond his fictional world and into ours. We love this character and what he stands for because he's a flawed human being just trying to do his best. This character and his various portrayals are beloved by people all over the world. He's incredibly famous. Everyone knows who Batman is, from our decrepit baby boomer grandparents to months-old newborn children. Probably. And this character has made billions of dollars for DC and Warner Brothers and whatever other companies that we love and are loyal to and have never done anything wrong. There's no denying Batman's impact on his and our world. So let's take the logical approach and immediately compare such a beloved, exciting, fictional comic book character to our own very real, normal, boring life. So we entertain people, I guess, through our writing and this. Well, we have an arts degree, which is extremely useful. Writing stuff brings us joy. We have a bunch of creative projects we've done that we're somewhat proud of. Not to brag, but we recently hit 50 subscribers on here. So, we'll get to that. This lack of meaningful impact must be where our unhappiness stems from. There are just no other possible explanations. So in our endless exploration of how to be happy as we approach the second half of our life, how can we achieve impact? There's apparently no clear canon answer to how old Bruce Wayne is when he becomes the Bat, but it seems safe to assume he's in his mid to late 20s when he returns to Gotham City after training in various parts of the world, meaning that by the time he's 30, he's probably already been Batman for a couple of years or so. An unavoidable part of turning 30 is comparing ourselves to other people around this age, the impact, happiness, and success they've enjoyed, and getting depressed that we ourselves haven't achieved those same things. Now, obviously, being Batman isn't something we personally want or should aspire to. We can't, and probably never will, fight crime, solve mysteries, afford cool gadgets, risk our life to help strangers, have a body like this, or run around in a little outfit like this. Our comparisons can be a little more realistic, like looking at people who've had impact in the same way that we want to. Effective, successful, famous, wealthy authors, writers, musicians, filmmakers, and YouTubers. These aspirations are semi-achievable. Many other people our age and younger have done these things. They also feel like the only pursuits in life that provide us with some kind of fulfillment, and therefore are what we're focusing on when considering how we'd like to have impact. Where Batman fights crime and does the world's greatest detecting, we are compelled to write stories, play and write music, make stupid little videos like these, or, God forbid, make short films and series that are actually supposed to be taken seriously. So how would we turn these creative endeavors into something impactful, something that affects society, is successful, reaches a wide audience, and makes money so that we can finally be happy? Batman may not have to stoop to something so predictable, but maybe YouTube is the answer. The internet and social media are the easiest ways to present creative work to the largest amount of people nowadays, for better or worse. It's not like this medium is under constant threat or anything. It's also probably easier than trying to get a novel traditionally published or having friends to play music with. Maybe this is how we'll have impact, by reaching the people who click on this video, actually watch the whole thing, and feel something. But what if that does happen? What if it's just one person? I mean, does Batman feel any better or worse when he saves 1,000 people's lives versus 150, or even a single civilian? We know logically that we shouldn't rely on the external validation of the most possible complete strangers clicking a button underneath this video. How high that number is might correlate to our level of impact, but not necessarily our happiness. Because the thought of just one person, one stranger on the internet, even you, watching and enjoying this video, that alone does make us feel some kind of something inside. So maybe you shouldn't subscribe. Maybe you shouldn't like the video or comment on the video or even watch the rest of this video because So if that's true, why am I even making this video? Is impact actually important? There's clearly a pretty obvious problem with this whole line of thinking and the premise of this video itself. If having an impact is supposed to provide happiness and fulfillment, then this Batman comparison is kind of the worst possible choice. Anyone who even slightly knows Batman's story wouldn't describe him as a healthy, happy, content character. Not to spoil anything, but my parents are both also still alive. Bruce Wayne becomes Batman, unhealthily obsessed with fighting crime because he's psychologically traumatized by the death of his parents. I mean, you'd have to be expecting to be taken seriously when you name your main weapon a Batarang. Let's talk briefly about that fourth component we mentioned. Batman exceeds in all these categories, especially his wealth. Now, we won't lie or deny it. We are, after all, just another cog in the wonderful machine of capitalism. We would love to make money from these creative pursuits. It's a huge part of the idea of having an impact being so appealing. If we did, then we could keep making more stuff, put more time and effort into that stuff, instead of wasting time on some shitty job we hate where we spend the whole day thinking about all the creative things we wish we could be doing. Batman is incredibly, impossibly wealthy, and aside from maintaining the front of being Bruce Wayne, he has no day job to distract him. But again, Batman is not a healthy, happy, fulfilled role model. So if successfully affecting society, reaching tons of people and having piles of cash don't provide fulfillment or happiness, is it even worth trying to have impact? The reason we're thinking about impact at all, this anxious future fear we have, is that we are terrified to reach the end of our life sometime soon, look back, realize we've had no impact on the world, and be painfully full of regrets. Realistically, when we actually get to that point, we'll probably look back and think, God, we wasted so much time worrying about having impact and how to be happy instead of just enjoying our life. Rationality is not our strong suit. The optimist in me wants to say we should just do creative projects because we enjoy it, not because it needs to reach the most people or make the most money or change the world. It can be enough to just finish something to our own standards and satisfaction and put it out there for those who might find and enjoy it. Creative work doesn't require the most people telling us we did a good job to make it true. We mostly do live life this way already, making things because we like making them, not expecting a huge audience or riches. Batman doesn't do what he does for the sake of having impact itself. He does it because he hates crime and he is vengeance. He just happens to have a massive impact along the way. But with the rapid approach of the final third of our life, I suppose we're getting more existential than usual and wondering more and more if this is going to be enough forever. You know what? I don't think it is. And I don't think it has to be. The obvious, nice, just be content and stop overthinking everything message we've stumbled towards is we shouldn't expect having the largest impact to provide the most happiness. We shouldn't rely on the external validation impact provides as our only source of fulfillment. If we only make the crap we make expecting to successfully affect the most people and make the most money, we're just setting ourselves up for disappointment. In saying that, maybe it's good to have that drive as well. Have that desire to achieve the highest impact we can imagine, but not actually expect it to happen because it very likely never will. The key is to find fulfillment in the middle, dreaming of our creative work having the most impact it possibly can, making it to that standard that we're happy with, but ultimately being content with the small amount of impact it actually has. Kind of like, hear me out, we have to tie this back into Batman somehow, Oracle. Barbara Gordon used to be Batgirl. She used to fight alongside Batman, saving lives, having more impact on society than most regular people ever will. But after being injured and paralyzed by our friend, the Joker, she now helps Batman from afar as his tech-smart surveillance sidekick. Sure, she might not be a proper superhero anymore, but she still does something pretty impactful. So maybe impact isn't about doing as much as others, or getting the most recognition, or making the most money and having everyone tell us how good a job we did. It's just doing the best you can, wanting to achieve the highest result possible, but being okay when it eventually doesn't. All with the hope that when you, the future me, look back from wherever the fuck you are, it was all enough. So, like with all of these videos, this lesson is somewhat obvious, took a long, pointless path to get to, and is more difficult to actually put into practice. Sorry if you made it this far with us. Thank you for watching. I hope my insecure anxiety unpacking self-therapizing is at least entertaining or relatable or helpful. If you want more advice on how to live your life like a video game, watch these other videos that I've made. Go play the Arkham games, they're all amazing and hold up really well. Subscribe for more, like this video, leave a vaguely critical but poorly worded comment, or don't do any of that because I don't deserve the external validation. And goodbye.